An appraisal gap can kill your BRRRR or have you leaving way too much money in that deal. Well, here's how Des Moines investors can avoid that. So it's Neil here. Hey, I'm talking about rehabbing and ultimately getting an appraisal here in the Des Moines area when you're going to do a BRRRR. The last thing you want is a gap when it comes to your refi. So today I'm breaking down the exact steps our borrowers can take to avoid gaps, keep ultimately high ARVs in place, and refi smoothly without surprises. So first, why do gaps even happen? Well, a lot of that is because appraisals lag the market. They are a lagging indicator of what's taking place. And seasonality really matters a lot. And so if you get some bad comps in a particular neighborhood, you're going to end up with a bad outcome. So can you educate yourself and how can you prevent this? Some of this has to do with as simple as understanding where the pendings and where the solds are. Pendings are really good when you're coming into starting a new deal for setting your ARV because the pendings ultimately are turning into solds. And by the time you get your project done, you're going to have a really good understanding of what that now pending, which will be sold, comp's going to be. That's where you set your ARVs because that's what's coming down the pipeline. Good or bad, could be higher or lower than where you think it is or where you think it should be, but that's where the market is headed right now. So you want to table your expectations for what your hopes are and set that on where the pendings are. Prepare an appraisal packet. Oh, well, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Prepare an appraisal packet. Now, how do you do that? Before and after pictures. And you're going to put all this information together. Ultimately, you're giving it to your lender. You're not communicating with an appraiser. Giving it to your lender. You want to provide a very detailed scope of work. You want to put your comps in there that you've based this off of for here's our standard in which we have built this thing to, and our home looks like this comparable home. And give them a summary. You want to understand all the things that go in there. Ultimately, because the appraiser can do a better job if they know that what you've done and how you've improved the home. Time that refi right. Here and I, as you know, we got peaks and valleys. Seasonality plays a big factor in the values of property. And so there are times where things are weak. If you're using comps that sold in November and December, when you're refinancing in January, potentially it's not as strong as if you were going to refinance in July and you're using May and June's comps. So if you're going to do this, line up the time frame, know what you're getting into there because it makes a difference. Lastly, there are some appraisers, or there are some lenders out there, I should say, that don't use appraisals. They use desktop appraisals. Ask the questions, understand what your options are that go into that. And when you're ready to do your next deal on the front end of this, and you need to get pre-approved or instantly pre-approved, you can do that below. I dropped a link. Appraisals don't have to hurt you. They can actually help you. It's understanding why gaps occur and then planning around that. Prep right, use the right comps, control your time frame, and then use some lenders. Some make it easier than others. I'll see you next time.